Morning, Ms. Falk.
Good morning, Your Honor. I, as well as Mr. Haddad, did receive the email this morning, and I have already reached out to our victim advocate.
I appreciate that, Ms. Falk. Thank you
Not
very
a
much.
problem.
Oh, Ms. Falk, is that about a matter that we here at the program should know about or just hear about later?
Well, the email went to Mr. Haddad, but it's nothing on today's calendar.
Thank you. Okay.
Not a problem.
So I still know the process, but I don't know what my brother. Okay. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing today, Mr. Norris?
All right. Whenever you guys ready, we have position number 5, Mr. Santino Evans.
Okay. And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Judge. Yes, it is.
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Vigiletti. Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Evans. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good morning, Judge. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? The other one? Do you swear affirm? You're fine. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This is on the count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer. The recommendation is 12 months probation, concurrent with count 2, 40 hours of community service, a $300 fine, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. On count 2, the reckless driving, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, serve 42 days in jail, credit for time served 21 days. That's going to be from October 11th, 2020 to October 12th of 2020. And then from the date of his arrest in this case until today, and I need to pull that date as well. Balance probated, a defensive driving course, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea.
We do stipulate.
Anything further, Ms. Vigiletti?
Judge, I spoke with Mr. Evans yesterday. He understands the terms of the plea and accepts responsibility for this. The only thing we would ask is once he completes the requirements, the community service, pays the fine, and takes the class, if it's possible to convert his probation to a non-reporting status, that would be helpful.
Any objection, Ms. Falk?
No objection, Your Honor. I do want to just put on the record, he was also in custody from January 7th of 2024 until today.
Thank you. Mr. Evans, it's my understanding that in case 20 CR 005031J, you wish to plead guilty to obstruction of a law enforcement officer and reckless driving. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Evans. As soon as you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't have to pay those fees and report to probation, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, very good. You're welcome, Mr. Evans. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, we're gonna go to position number 8, Mr. McKeel Hicks.
And Your Honor, just to put this on the record, we did forward this case to the DA's office. Since the value of the vehicle, it was a theft by receiving that was bound over from municipal court but it was actually the warrant on its face says that it is a felony. And it was bound over to us. It looks like by accident. We have reached out to the DA's office to confirm that, one, the warrant does say it is in fact a felony, and two, we looked up the Kelly Blue Book value and it is over $1,500, but we have not received a response as of today.
And what's his current bond?
Judge, his current bond is set at $5,000.
How's that broken down? Do you know, Ms. Vigiletti?
So he has three charges. I'm sorry, he has two charges, and the theft by receiving is set at $4,000 and the driving with a suspended license is set at $1,000.
Would you like me to arraign him this morning, Ms. Vigiletti, or are you gonna file a waiver?
I can file a waiver.
Okay. May I get his history, pre-trial, please?
And Your Honor, I do just want to put on the record, I know we don't have venue on this charge. It's a felony warrant. It's not a charge where it came in as a misdemeanor and we are seeking to upgrade it. On the warrant's face, it's a felony, and we have zero venue to touch this case at this point.
Ms. Vigiletti, I will let the Superior Court handle any type of modification.
Okay, understood, Judge.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Hicks.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 33 and 34, Mr. Brandon Walker.
I'm sorry, Judge, for position number 8, what are we doing with it? I didn't.
The state is attempting to transfer it to the DA's office since it is a felony warrant.
So we just resetting it for now, we still have, for like a week out, we have to,
That's fine. I should have, I'm hoping to have a response from them by then.
thank you, okay.
And 33 and 34, there will be a non-negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, it's a matter of jail extra time or not.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Walker. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good morning, Judge, and yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Good morning, Mr. Graham. Before I get to you, let me go ahead, since this is non-negotiated, and get his history from pretrial. Who do we have on from pretrial this morning? Do we know if Ms. Grace, if anyone's going to join us from pretrial today? Would you reach out to someone, please? Do you have the history, Mr. Graham?
Okay, Judge.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. I do have history.
Okay.
I've got 8 cycles. This simple assault from 2024, driving with a suspended license, 2023. This charge here, 2021, battery, family violence, including children's 3rd degree. Probation violation, 2016. Another criminal trespass and battery, family violence, 2016. 2012, driving without a valid license. 2011, marijuana possession. And convictions for the marijuana possession in 2011, and an amended driving without a license charge in 2012.
The simple assault of 2024, I take it that's pending. Do we know where that is?
Sorry, y'all, just give me one second. My apologies, Your Honor, I just got logged out. I'll just see.
The simple assault is out of Fulton, Your Honor.
So it was a simple assault that's out of Fulton, that's pending.
What I'm looking at, it looks like his arrest date on the simple assault was January 10th. So that's the case we upgraded to the simple battery.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Falk. You can proceed, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Your Honor. My apologies. So this incident took place on October 9th of 2023. Law enforcement were dispatched to 1076 Mason Turner Road. The officer spoke with the victim, Miss Joni Hoods. Spoke with Miss Joni Hood, who stated that the children's father, Brendan Walker, physically assaulted her while she was preparing the children for daycare. He attempted to knock something out of her hand, struck her in the chin with his arm, and the 3 children did witness the event. We have been in contact with the victim. I believe she may be on Zoom today. She agrees with the plea.
Hi, I'm Johnny Hood, the girlfriend and mother of Brendan Walker. I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. We'll be with you. Thank you.
And Your Honor, the state is recommending 12 months, serve 120 days, credit for time served 16 days from January 10th until present. Balance probated, no further contact with Joni Hood, stay away from the 1076 Mason Turner Road address. And this is a global recommendation with position 34, which was a battery, family violence, and a cruelty to the children, the 3rd degree charge.
Do you want to go over that charge?
Sure. And that incident took place November 4th of 2021. Law enforcement responded. It was a different location, 772 Celeste Lane Southwest, reference to a domestic dispute. At this time, the officer was flagged down by a minor child of Ms. Hood. And during that, while the officer was speaking with the child, Mr. Walker returned to the residence, gave his side of the story, mentioned that he and Ms. Hood got into a verbal altercation during which Ms. Hood struck him on the face, and then she grabbed his genitals. In response, he punched her in the face. The officer did note that he had minor scratches on his left cheek and his shirt was ripped. And when speaking with Ms. Hood, she admitted the altercation became mutually physical, which culminated in Mr. Walker on top of her, punching her in the face. She stated that she passed out after being punched, and when she came back to consciousness, she was vomiting and dizzy. Ms. Hood had a black eye and severe laceration to her nose observed by the officer. State is recommending in this case on count 1, 12 months to serve 120 days, credit for time served 10 days from November 4th, 2021 to November 13th, 2021. Family Violence Intervention Program, 8-week anger management, 40 hours of community service. No further contact with Joni Hood. Stay away from the incident location. Count 2, 12 months consecutive with count 1. No further contact, Joni Hood, stay away from the incident location. Count 3, 12 months concurrent with count 2. So for the total global recommendation would be 24 months probation, serve 120 days, credit for time served 16 days, Family Violence Intervention Program, 8-week anger management, 40 hours community service, no further contact with Joni Hood, and stay away from the incident locations.
Mr. Graham, a couple of questions. Can you tell me on the bond that he was out on for the November 2021 date, what were the conditions of that bond? Was there no further contact or stay away in place? If you can.
Yeah, let me check for you. I'm sorry, we got stuff all over the place this morning.
I'm just trying to see if he violated his original bond when he committed the 10/9/23 offense.
I'm sorry, if you can just give me 1 second, my computer is just
Okay, Ms. Falk, are you able to help us out for a moment?
Yes, Your Honor. It
so-
is no further contact with Joni DeVita Hood or minor children TH and HW. Stay away from 772 Celeste Lane, Southwest Atlanta. May return one time with officers to get belongings for no more than 2 hours during daylight hours. No drugs, alcohol, or weapon, and must get court order for visitation and custody of children. It was signed by Judge Lal on November 5th, 2021, and it was a $3,000 surety bond.
Okay, thank you. And as far as the second offense date of October 23rd, did he make bond on that case? And why is he before us today?
Your Honor, on the, let me just check for a moment. The incident that happened on November of 2023, it looks like he was arrested on that case January 10th of 2024. And then he has not made bond on that case. He was given a $2,500 good bond on this simple battery case and has been in jail since January 11th of 2024.
That's what I needed to know.
And I
Okay.
think the statement to say probably October the 9th, 2023, not November.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Okay. Yes. Since the October case, he was arrested in January.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Graham?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. McLean, if you would like for me to hear from Ms. Hood first, or would you like me to hear from you first?
Either way, Your Honor, whatever the court prefers.
Okay, Ms. Hood, if you would like to address the court, I need for you to activate your camera and I'll have to swear you in.
Hello, I'm Joni
Okay.
Hood.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me? The other right hand?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Hood. What would you like to tell the court?
I'm in agreement that Brandon Walker take some kind of anger management classes and courses to cope with his anger and temper. And if possible, I would like to remain contact under the circumstances, no violent contact, considering we have 3 small children, that can't make decisions on their own or make visits on their own. But I think it's best interest that he takes some type of courses for himself to deal with his anger and feelings.
How many children do you and Mr. Walker have together?
3,
And what are their ages?
2, 1, and 4.
Okay. Anything further, Ms. Hood?
No, Your Honor.
We appreciate you being here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
You're welcome. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, as to a point which is not on our actual sheet here, but which the court has sussed out, my clients sometimes, because of the intensity of the court session, sometimes don't hear everything that they're being told, and that's not a legal excuse. However, with the business about you can collect your belongings, I know that weakens my argument. Your Honor, on October of 2023, the police report did say that, quote, Ms. Hood said she had her back turned when he attempted to knock something out of her hand and he struck her chin with his arm, unquote. That's part of the police report. It's one paragraph. I read about 1/5 of it just now. Your Honor, there's a classic case in law school that we all hear when we first get there about the fellow standing in line with a plate in his hand, and if you take the plate out of his hand, that consists of a civil battery, because although you didn't touch him, something did. It sounds like the chin business was inadvertent, and attempted to knock something out of her hand does not seem to be complete. So in that sense, I am trying to minimize the facts of October 2023 and suggest that maybe it should have been a simple assault to start with, but he is going ahead today, pleading guilty to simple battery family violence and taking that legal responsibility. Let me then go back to 2021. In 2021, Your Honor, that was he's not although I'm minimizing for the sake of the plea, he's not minimizing the seriousness of October 2023. But I would emphasize that 2021 was over 2 years ago. So the main point about the punishment today, Your Honor, is that he's already accepting that he's going to do FVIP. He's already accepting that he's going to do anger management on top of FVIP. The number of days that he has to sit in jail to get into his head this and that, the purpose is the punishment to understand what he must do in the future. We just don't think that any more jail days are required to do that. He's spent a certain number of jail days from the 2021, whatever number of jail days that was, then since January 10th on this one. It is unfortunate that there was apparently not an understanding that was sufficient to have him perform the no contact.
Is that it, Mr. McLean?
That's it.
Okay, so let me tell you what my concerns are. I wanted to know about the bond because I wanted to know if he violated that bond. I wanted to know if he was in compliance or if he wasn't. Knowing Judge Law, and especially the specifics that she went into on that bond, it would have been very clear to him that he was to have no further contact. Had he not had any further contact until the first case was resolved, then the second case necessarily would not have taken place. So because he violated that court order, and that's my biggest concern. Well, that's not my biggest concern. That's one of my concerns. My biggest concern is that Mr. Walker, you have 3 young children. You have 3 young children that you have a responsibility for. You have 3 young children that are learning from you, that will imitate your behavior. Your highest responsibility are to those 3 children. And although I want you to get yourself together. I want you to do rights for those children that you and and Ms. Hood have the responsibility of raising. I don't want to see you in jail, but my job is to make sure that I deliver a proper punishment. As Ms. Hood says, I do think that you need both the anger management and the FVIP. And I think that you need some more time to think about how you're going to proceed forward. So this court will be accepting the state's recommendation. Probation will not terminate. It will be reporting probation for the entire term of the probation. And that's mostly for your children, to make sure that they are treated properly. Again, I'm going to have no further contact at this point in time until you prove to the court. You can come for a modification at some other point down the road, but until you prove to the court that you're gonna fly right, then I'm not going to have you have any further contact at this time. So that is going to be Mr. McLean. If Mr. Walker wants to plead guilty, those are going to be the terms. It'll be a total acceptance of the state's recommendation.
I believe that is the course that he wishes to follow. Mr. Walker, do you want to consult privately any further, or was our discussion of the possibilities today, last night, sufficient? Okay, he wants to go forward, Your Honor.
Okay. So if nothing further from anyone, Mr. Walker, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 0000299G, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence, and in case 21 CR 0068081G, you wish to plead guilty to battery family violence and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept your plea, Mr. Walker, and let's see, the sentence will be that as articulated by the state. Again, I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Walker. I hope that you get yourself on the right track for your children. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can we go to South Annex to Mr. Jaden Smith? He's actually on the add-on. He's add-on number 8.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Smith has been before you before, and like I've told you before, he is 17, and so we're working on, because the plea offer involves moving out of his family home, we are still working on getting housing for him. And Mr. Smith, I did get the phone number of the relative you wanted me to speak to, and so we are going to be getting some advice from another relative, and we're waiting to hear back from a couple of programs where he might be able to live. So we don't have a plea or anything to offer today.
So I'll be on the SAP calendar on Tuesday. You would like to reset him to 1:30 on Tuesday so we can address him at that time?
Yes, please. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so I'll see you back on Tuesday, Mr. Smith.
And Your Honor, I would like to sound for Ms. Shannon Ijabo.
Yeah, I see Mr. Jabo there. Mr. Jabo, if you would like to address the court. So,
No.
Mr. Job, okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you being here today. We will, and I'll appreciate you being back on Tuesday if you choose to be, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
You're welcome. You have a good day, ma'am.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
Your Honor, in front of you, we have add-on position number 9, Mr. John Wade. He's actually conflict.
Okay, is this, Mr. Murphy, is this your case?
Muted.
Does he have a conflict attorney as of yet? Do we know?
Mr. Wade was represented by private counsel as recently as yesterday on another case. And so that attorney, you know, from our perspective, when we log in and look at his case, he's represented by private counsel. Mr. Wade was under the impression that all of his legal matters were going to be addressed yesterday with private counsel. So as of right now, private counsel is still listed as his attorney.
Okay, and who is that counsel? Do you remember, Ms. Vigiletti?
Yeah, I have it written down here. His last, it's Mr. Shart, SCHARDT.
So what I'll do, since Mr. Short is
I'm
not,
sorry, 1 second, because he's.
Amanda, no.
Mr. Wade is telling me he was represented by someone named Amanda Young. His attorney is listed when you log into Odyssey as a Mr. Shart, but both are private counsel.
okay. Well, given the recommendation in the matter, and given that there's not an attorney here to represent Mr. Wade this morning, let's see, Ms. Grace, can we figure out who the proper attorney is? I'll reset this until Tuesday to give everyone the opportunity to be present.
And that's for position number 9 on the regular calendar?
That's the add-on calendar, I believe, right? Position number
Yes,
9.
Your Honor.
Mr. John Wade. Thank you. I appreciate it, Ms. Grace. So, Mr. Wade, no, I was just going to tell him your case will be reset until next Tuesday to give your counsel the opportunity to be present, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I'm
All right.
sorry, can I get the name of the private counsel again so I can email them the recommendation?
So Mr. Wade told me he worked with a woman named Amanda Young.
Amanda Young. Okay, thank you so much.
You got it. Next, Your Honor, we have add-on 1, Mr. Accord, Azizi Accord.
Okay, and while we're waiting, Ms. Grace, if you can, if I see some cases down here where we may need a conflict attorney, and I want to make sure that someone has been assigned or that I don't want to lose a conflict attorney this morning and not have everyone addressed.
Miss McLeod is on a jury trial and her cases are on the competency calendar. We're gonna have to reset those. And while we have Mr. Murphy on, we can see if he can handle any others.
Okay, and would you get those while I'm dealing with the calendar? Would you have someone get those together for me, the numbers, so that I can have request that Mr. Murphy, if he will, represent those people and have him speak with them this morning? If he has not.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. All right. Yes, courtroom 2. Who do we have? Miss Position number 1 on the add-on, Mr. Accord.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. And what are we doing with Mr. Accord today?
We reset, good morning, Judge. So we reset his case from Tuesday's SAP. The DA is considering the transfer. The reason we reset it to today instead of next Tuesday is because this is the only thing holding him. I was hoping that we would have an update.
So, Your Honor, here is the issue. The DA's office said that they did not want to accept the case. However, it's really not optional in this situation. The defendant has a previous aggravated assault family violence against the same victim where he was convicted. He now comes before us on this case under statute where there is a previous family violence battery conviction or a previous aggravated assault family violence conviction. This case is automatically a felony. And so we have upgraded our discussion to kind of, and I have responded to the DA's office, explained that statutorily this is their case because it involves the same victim and it is a previous conviction. I have not received a response to my last response. And so that's where we stand. I'm hesitant to plea this case out because there is a previous conviction for aggravated assault family violence involving the same victim that there is a case now on our calendar today for family violence battery.
Well, we seem to be in a quagmire. Can't we get him on a calendar for Superior Court and let them deal with that? I don't want him just to sit here without having some type of resolution.
Agreed, which is why I had initially asked for a reset to the 30th to try to allow me enough time to try to get to a resolution. But
okay,
I'm more than happy to submit an order to Your Honor for transfer to Superior Court, since statutorily it would be transferred.
Right. Ms. Abden, do you have any input?
Well, it is my understanding as well, to be honest, if there is a previous family violence conviction, then it is a felony. So
I just want to do what we can do to move him as quickly as possible. I just don't want him to get lost in the shuffle. So if it's agreed to, if everyone agrees to it, I'm happy to sign that order. Is that fine with you, Ms. Abden?
Could you give me one moment?
I can. Do you want to come back to him?
Yeah, I want to just ask someone to confirm.
I know, I understand. So, Ms. Falk?
In Your Honor and PD Abden, the case number for the aggravated assault family violence is 15 SC 137972. And it was here in Fulton County.
Thank you. I'll go look into it and we'll get back.
Next, Your Honor, we're going to go to Mr. Eric Smith, positions 21 through 24.
My laptop, hold on a sec for this one.
And what are we doing with Mr. Smith this morning?
So I had emailed ASG Falls to try to resolve this, so I have not heard back, so I just wanted to know what the update was.
I did respond via email. I know you have been kind of ripping and running, so I'm not sure if you had a chance to see it. I did agree with the modification from SDET to mental health, comply with mental health treatment.
Okay, so let me just talk to him about that real quick, and then we'll just do a negotiated plea then if he agrees.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Your Honor, we can go to either jail court's iPhone or ACDC.
I have position number 31 to 32, Tatum.
Okay,
I'm not sure if this is Miss Abden's case as well. Maybe if we could choose a case that doesn't belong to PD Abden to give her an opportunity to talk to her clients.
No, I believe this is Mr. McLean's case.
Okay, great. Thank you.
He's coming out. Not bad at all.
okay, and this is positions 31 and 32, Mr. Dominic Tatum.
Yes.
Okay, and this, Mr. McLean, this will be a negotiated plea and a null pros.
That is my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Tatum. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place February 24th of 2020. Officer arrived at the Cheshire Motor Inn, 1865 Cheshire Bridge Road Northeast, response to an intoxicated driver. Upon arrival, the officer noticed Mr. Tatum in his car with it running, lights on, partially on top of a rubber barrier that he had knocked over. After the hotel staff tried to wake him and get him to move. The state is recommending 12-month probation to serve 46 days, credit for time served 23 days, balance prorated ADET, RR, $600 fine, 240 hours of community service, a VIP, 2 AA meetings a week, and an interlock device on count 1. Count 2, 12-month probation consecutive to count 1, $400 fine, for a total of 24 months probation to serve 46 days, credit for time served 23 days, ADET RR $1,000 fine, 240 hours of community service, VIP, 2 AA meetings a week.
What is the let's see, is there another open case that we're dealing with?
My apologies, Your Honor. Yes, so on the open case, just 23 CR 0000926H, the state is offering 12-month probation to serve 4 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance prorated. Stay away from 154 Peachtree Hills Avenue Northeast. No further contact with Patricia Lawson. And on count 2 of that, concurrent with count 1.
Charges.
Loitering and prowling, and loitering, prowling, and possession of drug-related objects, Your Honor.
Mr. McLean,
Your Honor, it is a negotiated plea. For the purposes of the plea, we stipulate the three necessary elements. He does ask the court to accept his plea on each case.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, for the record, can we sound for the victim? Miss Patricia Lawson.
if Miss Patricia Lawson is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. ACDC, if you can unmute for me. Mr. Tatum, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 007797H, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, and reckless driving. And on case 23 CR 000296H, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling and possession of drug-related objects. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Tatum. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Position 6 and 7, Mr. Glover. Jail iPhone.
Who's got one? Okay.
What are we doing with Mr. Glover this morning?
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Glover would like to discuss the possibility of a non-negotiated plea.
Okay. Good morning, Mr.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Fine.
Apologies.
No problem. Good morning, Mr. Glover. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Glover? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down, Mr. Glover. Let me see. We have someone on from Ms. Tyson. Good morning. May I get a history, please?
Good morning. Yes. Mr. Glover, he has 30 arrest cycles beginning in 1993. He has 4 felony convictions outside of the 10-year period. It looks like he has a pending case out of Brookhaven. Arrest date was April 27th, 2023. Theft by receiving stolen property and driving while license suspended or revoked. There's no disposition listed on the GCIC. And it looks like he has a pending misdemeanor theft by shoplifting out of Decatur. Arrest date was August 8th of 2023. Looks like he has a total of 2 FTAs and a misdemeanor conviction out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting. Disposition date on that case is December 1st, 2023. Let's see. And he has 1 cycle out of Iowa from 2012 that resulted in a misdemeanor conviction. It was harassment in the 1st degree. Yes, harassment in the 1st degree. And he has, let's see, looks like 1 cycle out of Nebraska. That was for a failure to appear, assault, and a damage to property. That resulted in a misdemeanor conviction in 2011. Nothing to add, John.
Lady, what are you contesting?
Judge, I spoke with Mr. Glover yesterday. He takes.
Did we lose the courtroom 2? I think we might have lost courtroom 2.
Yeah, it looks like courtroom 2 just disappeared.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to be in recess, or, well, I guess we'll have to be in recess. Unless someone, ACDC, are you with us?
They're coming back in now, courtroom 2.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I have position.
Oh, okay, thank you. They're back with us.
Okay.
We're back.
So Ms. Vigilante, I'm sorry, you were in the middle of a statement when you went out.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Judge.
I was just wondering what what's contested as far as the recommendation.
Yes, so after speaking with Mr. Glover, because of present day life circumstances and some context that I received about Mr. Glover in the past couple of years, he is asking if you would consider dropping the 40 hours of community service. And so he could pay the fine, take the classes, do probation, and kind of move on. And I'm happy to get into the reasons why right now, if you'd like, or if you'd like to hear from Ms. Fogg.
Let me hear from Ms. Falk and the circumstances first. I just wanted to know what I was dealing with. Go ahead, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened August 14th of 2022 at 1105 Research Center Drive. The defendant was carrying speakers inside of a backpack, placed the speakers inside of the backpack and attempted to walk out of the store with those and a pair of boots. He did admit to trying to steal the items. He stated he was going to sell the speaker for extra cash. The items totaled $176. I will state that the defendant's history, as you've heard, is extensive. We are showing that he has 27 cycles. There were theft by receivings all the way back to 1997. We also have convictions for theft by receiving in 99, theft by receiving again in 99, theft by taking in 99. We have entering auto in 2001, probation violations as well in 2002. And furthermore, theft by receiving stolen property in 2005, parole violations back in 2008, theft by shoplifting in April of 2023, which was after this case in DeKalb County, theft by receiving stolen property in April of 2023, again after this case in Brookhaven, and a July 2023 theft by shoplifting that also was subsequent to this case in City of South Fulton, and an August 2023 theft by shoplifting arrest subsequent to this case in Decatur. So what we're showing is that the theft by shopliftings did not abate even after he was arrested on this case. And so the state does have grave concerns, especially considering this is his second theft by shoplifting, and he already has enough arrests that if he is convicted on these subsequent cases, he would already be in felony territory. So that is the reason the state was asking for 40 hours of community service and anti-theft course and that $500 fine. The $500 fine is statutory. We're also asking for that stay away from Walmart at 1105 Research Center Drive. And the state is asking for 12 months served, 32 days, credit for time served 16 days from January 10th of 2024, which would release him as of today's date. But given his history, I think 40 hours of community service is more than warranted.
I'm sorry, Judge, I missed what you said.
I was just ready for your presentation.
Okay, so I spoke with Mr. Glover at length yesterday. I understand he has significant history. And I'll also just point to the fact that he has significant history that's very, very old, and he has significant history that's pretty recent. He had a long stretch where he was not in trouble. And the reason I highlight that today is because Mr. Glover and I spoke at length about that period in his life where he was not in trouble the way he has been recently. Mr. Glover, first of all, takes full responsibility for stealing these items from Walmart. He provided no excuses yesterday and over again told me he's not providing excuses, but he did provide important context that I think is helpful in understanding Mr. Glover's situation. Shortly before he stole these items, his wife, who had been an incredibly positive factor in his life, his wife who had been keeping him on the straight and narrow, who is responsible for that period of time where Mr. Glover wasn't in trouble, died of COVID. She contracted COVID at the daycare where she worked. And Mr. Glover didn't realize how expensive burial fees were. and it led him down a bad path. He stole these boots because he was trying to get day work in addition to his cook job to pay for his wife's burial. And since then, he acknowledges that he's been on a bad path. We discussed yesterday that being on probation and taking this anti-theft course is probably a very good thing for him. But he's concerned about the number of hours of responsibility that adding 40 hours of community service adds to it, because he lives with his father who has Alzheimer's and needs caretaker around the clock, and they don't yet have a paid professional coming to take care of his father. So in addition to running his landscape business, he is his father's primary caretaker, and he's just concerned about being successful on probation. He's not contesting that he didn't do this. He's not contesting that it's a good reason to steal from a store. We're just asking today for some grace, just understanding the context of what Mr. Glover's life looks like today.
Okay, well, normally people want me to convert a fine to community service. I mean, he'll have a year to do community service. I think community service is warranted in this case, if not something more substantial. So I'm going to accept the recommendation of the state if he would like to plead guilty to it. I mean, he can go to community service. Is not hard to get done. It is, and he can get it done in a relatively short period of time if he chooses to. Everyone has circumstances, and I appreciate his circumstances, but everyone has circumstances why they don't want to do something. So I'm going to accept the state's recommendation if he wishes to plead guilty.
Understood. And unless Mr. Glover has changed his mind, my understanding is that he would like to plead today. But Mr. Glover, if that's not correct, let me know.
Yes, ma'am, I'd like to plead guilty.
Okay. If nothing further, Mr. Glover, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 005699Y, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Absolutely not, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation? Is that a yes? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. I apologize. Yes.
No, you're fine. You have you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea. The sentence will be that as articulated. I'll accept the state's recommendation, but Mr. Glover, to give you an incentive to go ahead and get it done, I will have the probation go to a non-reporting status when you've completed the terms of it. So once you complete the terms, you won't have to report to probation and you won't have to pay those fees. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you'll get this behind you, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Glover.
In your honor, the state did file the null pros on position 6, which is Mr. Glover's FTA.
Yes, who do we have at ACDC?
Position number 10 through 11. Lee,
Okay.
Octavia Lee. Oh.
Judge, that is Mr. McLean's case, and he is currently on the phone.
Okay,
Okay.
we have position 19 through 20, Purdue.
I'm sorry, it looks like Mr. McLean is ready.
Excuse me, Judge, position 19 is gonna have to be reset because Mr. Murphy represents the sister. So it's gonna have to be reset for conflict, and hopefully we'll have Ms. McLeod.
Okay, so I'll address her next. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ms. Grace. So before us now, we have this Ms. Lee.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good morning, Ms. Lee. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I do.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Yes, Ms. Falk. You're on mute.
Sorry, what is the defense's announcement on this? I'm sorry, I'm getting some kind of feedback. What did you say, PD McLean?
Negotiated plea.
Oh, okay, great.
And I agree with you, Ms. Falk. Something's going on with courtroom too. So it's a little difficult to hear this morning, so I understand.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So on count one, the driving under the influence, the state's recommendation is 12 months, serve 34 days. Credit for time served 17 days. That's going to be from September 7th to September 7th of 2021. And then January 11th, 2024 to today. Balance probated, ADET, DUI risk reduction, a $600 fine, which is statutory, 240 hours of community service, which is statutory, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Count two is 12 months probation concurrent with count one. There is a 6-month statutory license suspension on that. And on count three, 12 months concurrent with count one, $265 fine, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The defendant does have a 2022 DUI conviction, so this is her second in 10. And we are agreeable to null crossing position 10, which is the FTA. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We, for the purposes of the plea, we do so stipulate, yes.
Anything further, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, just a comment that she does ask the court to accept her negotiated plea of guilty on this. I don't know myself the date of occurrence of the 2022 DUI conviction. I know that this is from September 7, 2021. So if the statute is read in such a way that this would require the $600 fine, require the 240 hours community service, I understand. It is unfortunate, but it's just a reality of life that with SAP, we actually prefer on DUI cases to investigate them thoroughly, and this is one-day lawyering. So we don't stand in the way of our clients when they want to take advantage of getting out of jail.
Okay. With that said,
I haven't been able to research anything, but she wishes, I explained everything that we had in front of us, and she says, I really want to go forward today. So I'm not going to stand in her way, and I don't think I have the right to do so. So although I would prefer to investigate it, she is making a decision that is logical and legal.
okay, Ms. Lee, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002717B, you wish to plead guilty to driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, violating a restriction of your driver's license, and failure to maintain lane or improper lane change. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you would like for Mr. McLean to do an additional research on your case, or if you want me to reset your case until next Tuesday, I'm more than happy to do that. If you want to move forward today, that's up to you. But if you want some additional time for him to advise you, then that is the court is certainly will be responsive to that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'll reset your case then. She said, okay, Mr. McLean. So and so it's my understanding that you want me to reset you till next Tuesday so that he can continue to advise you. Is that correct, Ms. Lee?
That'll be fine.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll reset. I will be here next Tuesday, so I'll reset you the next Tuesday, and we'll move forward at that time. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your
So
Honor, the
that'll-
state just wants to clarify this for everyone's edification. Even if the PD's office determines that because of the fact that the DUI in 2022 is subsequent instead of previous, it would just go to a non-negotiated plea because the state will not be changing our recommendation.
Understood.
All right, so Ms. Lee, I'll see you back next Tuesday.
All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
You're welcome. Ms. McLeod, I saw that you're there with us today. Are you
Good
with me,
morning,
Ms.
Your Honor.
McLeod? Good morning. Are you able to take on an additional case today that I can assign?
Your Honor, I'm actually deliberating. I'm in a jury trial. The jurors
Oh,
are deliberating.
okay.
I just
All
came
right.
in to see. I know I had one person, Miss Williams. I just came in to see if the state had an offer for her. But because I don't know where this is going to go, because they've been deliberating since yesterday, I'm not able to handle anything else this morning.
Okay, I understand. So let's see, the case that you're here on is which case?
Miss Pulliam.
And that's on the, is that on the?
It's on the add-on calendar, Your Honor. And I am going to send the recommendation right now to Ms. McLeod.
Okay, so if you can stay with us, Ms. McLeod, just get back with us, okay?
Yes.
And let's see, at ACDC, is this position 19 and 20?
Yes.
Ms. Purdue?
Yes.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Purdue. This is, I was just speaking with Ms. McLeod. She will be assigned to represent you. Unfortunately, she cannot be with us further this morning. I'm going to have to reset your case until next Tuesday, which is the 30th. Okay, I will see you back. Ms. Grace, we don't have anybody else available as far as a conflict attorney. Is that what you've told me?
No, sir, we don't have no one, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. Well, I just wanted to make sure. So I cannot move forward with your case today, Ms. Purdue. We will have it assigned to Ms. McLeod. She'll be with you, and I'll be back with you on next Tuesday. Do we have anyone else at ACDC that we need to take?
Can I number add on number 2 with a jail iPhone so I can go to Mr. Dennis Murphy, other client?
Okay, add on number 2. What are we doing with Mr. Brooks this morning? Mr. McLean, or can somebody in courtroom 2 help me? This is
we got a fire alarm going off right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah, but go ahead, Mr. McLean.
Oh, no, I think he was just asking about what's going on here. Who's next?
This is Xavier Brooks, position number 2.
Oh, that's Miss Abden's client. Hold on just a minute, please. Thanks.
Okay.
Hello, Judge. So I went to go see Mr. Brooks. He stated that he declines the public defender services. I wanted to have a social worker go speak with him just to confirm, but he stated that he was pro se and would not speak with me.
Would you just like me to reset him to give you that opportunity until next Tuesday?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Otherwise, he has a bond, I would imagine, and that there will be nothing more that we could do. So I'll reset him to next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Yes, Mr. Murphy.
I had Javius Johnson. He was position 9, and I'd filed a waiver. I would just want to make sure court was aware of it.
Position number 9.
I think he was original last.
So we don't need Mr. Johnson this morning?
No, Judge. I saw him last Friday. He's in custody on other charges, and he was aware of what and why we were doing that.
Okay. So we'll file a waiver on position number 9. He will be, his case will be returned to the division judge and he'll get notification of his next hearing date.
Yeah, Judge. That's it. That's right. So
Okay.
I'm just which is a new appointment.
Okay, you're going out on in and out on me, Mr. Murphy, so I wasn't quite sure what you said.
I've got Mr. Chestang, position number 19. That's a new one.
Have you
Oh, I see.
I haven't had a chance to speak with him yet. I'm
That's
aware.
position number 4, Mr. Murphy. But position number 4 is Mr. Chastain Jarvis. That's the one that
Yes.
you said that you could represent, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. I haven't chatted with him.
So as soon as we can get him, Mr. Murphy we'll put you into a breakout room with him.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm not sure whoever's on the iPhone, if they did you all hear that?
Your Honor, I guess we're just waiting for our roving officer to get to another floor.
Okay, and so we have no one else in courtroom 2 that needs to be heard, and nobody else in ACDC that needs to be heard.
No one in courtroom 2, Your Honor.
In the
Okay.
meantime, Judge, I can make an announcement on.
Your Honor, is Ms. Pulliam available for me to speak with?
Yeah, she's here at ACDC.
Okay, I would like to speak with her.
Okay, so can we place ACDC, or would you like to call Ms. McLeod?
I can do whichever is convenient to the court.
What's the phone number?
Mine?
Yes.
It's 404-457-2195.
And then we have Eric on the add-on calendar. Position number. Position.
ACDC, aside from Ms. Pulliam, we have anyone else at ACDC that we need to
Yeah.
address this morning?
We have position 5 and 6, Harris.
Okay,
I believe that is, Ms. Falk and I have communicated about the tweaking of the amount of credit. So it's essentially like a negotiated plea with a request for a no-lo, but there was such a slight variation, I hesitate to call it any. At first I called it a counter offer, but I think I'm wrong to do so.
so you're requesting a no-lo and the state is opposed to a no-lo? Is that?
Actually, Your Honor, this is one where I just needed to check her history.
Oh, okay.
So if I could just have a moment to check into that.
Okay.
But yes, we're otherwise, and I don't know if Mr. McLean received my email, my text message back, but I have essentially, Ms. Harris would like credit for the time she spent in AC and in the city jail. However, I have no way of knowing how much time she spent in the city jail and no way of calculating that. So I was asking if we had any sort of proof of the time that she served in city jail.
Go to Mr. McLean. Is that a question for Mr. McLean? Did you hear the question, Mr. McLean?
Right. I explained to Ms. Harris that I would try as soon as possible when I could get to a source of information which I could print out for, as an officer of the court, look at it on a computer screen and repeat that she was actually in the city jail on whatever she was in there for on the date in question, which I think was September the 28th of 2023. Her point about tweaking the amount of jail credit time she would get would result in, if her legal argument is correct, and I think she has a point. She's saying, I didn't mean to FTA, I couldn't be there. Therefore, I should get jail credit for the time I've been in the city jail. I said, well, that would cause you to have 4 months of probation to do that instead of 8, that she already has a good bit of jail credit time to begin with. And I said, you know, the court may well put you on non-reporting probation. It may not be a big difference, but officially it looks like 8 months of probation she's about to embark upon, and she would prefer to embark upon 4 months of probation. She's going to get her conditions done, Your Honor, either way.
So I don't know what if the history is that she doesn't have any other theft charges, she has theft charges? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
She has 37 cycles, so.
And much of this is up to the discretion of the court. So Ms. Harris is hopeful that we would be able to claim credit for those days, because she should get credit for them if she was in jail in the city of Atlanta on September 28th, and has been continuously since.
okay, I don't want to for that. I mean, I can still have it go to a non-reporting. If she didn't have anything further, I would have considered termination. But given that it's only the anti-theft class that she's going to have to do, and that she'd still be on probation, I would consider non-reporting, as opposed to her sitting in jail for another 5 days waiting for next Tuesday.
And her only specific conditions are going to be the 107 restitution and some cents, and the class itself. Ms. Harris, what are your druthers? Would you like to go forward, or we don't want to make you feel like anybody's forcing you to do anything?
I'm pleading the guilty plea.
Oh, I thought it was a NOLO, Ms.
Yeah,
Harris.
I'm pleading a guilty plea.
You're changing your NOLO to a guilty? You can do that if you wish. But do you understand the court's direction about it might end up being 8 months probation after all? Can you live with that?
So I don't get credit for being here since September the 26th to now.
Correct, but if it goes to non-reporting as soon as you do your 107 restitution and some cents, and you do your anti-theft class, which only takes a few hours to accomplish, are you okay with that? Do you want to go forward today, or do you want us to go get some paper and make legal arguments and write briefs?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Just so I'm clear, and just so I'm clear with Ms. Harris, that Ms. Harris, if you do plead guilty, I will, once you pay the $107 and once you do the anti-theft class, I will have the probation go to a non-reporting status, which means you won't have to actively report to probation, and you won't have to pay any probation fees. Okay?
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so it's my understanding that you would like to plead guilty to this charge this morning.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Falk, is there anything that you'd like to put on the record?
Yes, the state's recommendation on this case, Your Honor, is 12 months with 240 days to serve, credit for time served 120 days. That's going to be from July 30th of 2022 to July 30th of 2022, and then September 28th of 2023 to today. So she is actually getting credit for the time she did serve from September 28th. We're also asking for balance probated and anti-theft class, stay away from Church's Chicken at 5148 Old National Highway, and then restitution in the amount of $107. I will put on the record that although she is changing her plea to guilty, she was not eligible for NOLO, as she used it in July of 2022 in a Clayton County false report of a crime case.
Harris and Lee and Purdue.
Oh, we've had audio problem, Your Honor. I heard the last part.
That's it. I just needed to let you
And
know.
the state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We do so stipulate for this purpose. Did Your Honor have a question?
Question. Thing that Ms. Falk said was that she wasn't qualified for a NOLA. Did you hear
Oh.
that?
Yes, her audio is clear, but Your Honor's audio is breaking up a little bit.
Oh, it is? Okay.
But now it sounds good now. So
Okay.
the number of days of jail credit is really about what I thought it would be anyway, and she is getting credit from September the 28th, not the 26th, where she was in some jail 2 days earlier. I just want to make sure she doesn't feel pressured to take a plea.
No, I don't feel pressured to take the plea.
Very good.
Plea because I want to take the plea.
Okay. If nothing further, Ms. Harris, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 002247C, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Harris. When you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you don't have to be on reporting probation, and then you won't have to pay those fees, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you.
And position number 5 will be null process, my understanding.
Oh, and Ms. Harris, be sure to report to 132 Mitchell Street, 2nd floor, as soon as you get out of jail. Sometimes our contact information is insufficient. Thank you.
Number 9, Mr. Johnson on the jail iPhone.
And AC, is there anyone? Thank you. Position number 9.
Judge, I think that's Jartavius Johnson, who I've executed the waiver.
Oh, yeah, Jartavius.
Oh, okay. Mr. Johnson, your case is going to be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Did you hear me, Mr. Johnson?
Can you repeat that?
Yes, your counsel has filed a waiver in your case, so your case is going to be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of that next date.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Jail court's iPhone, Mr. Murphy, who's your other client?
It's Mr.
He didn't come out the first time I went to get him. He was playing around, so I went to the next person. So I grab him now.
Okay, thank you.
I have Miss Bryant on the probation revocation calendar, position number 1.
Okay.
We have Ms. Bryant.
Yes, this your case, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a probation revocation case, but I don't know what the recommendation of the probation department is. I have contacted her relatives to get them on Zoom.
Okay, so so before we do that, let me just good morning, Ms. Bryant. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is a probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Officer Allison, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on with Ms. Bryant?
Ms. Bryant owes court fines and surcharges in total of $440, probation supervision fees in total of $360, victim crime funds in total of $81, failed to report as directed on September 25th, 2022, October 3rd, 2022, October 20th, 2022, December 30th, 2022, and March 28th, 2023. Has not completed domestic violence intervention program. She has 52 days remaining on this case. Probation is recommending to revoke the balance.
And your request, Mr. McLean, so now that you know what the recommendation is, what's your request?
I'm sorry, could they repeat the recommendation?
Revoke the balance of her time.
How many days do the?
She has 52 days remaining on this case. We'll give credit for the 16 days that she was already in.
Right. Your Honor, her request to the court would be that the court allow her to continue on probation and attempt her best to finish any conditions she can.
She didn't do
does not have
anything,
enough
so-
time to do
Right.
excuse me.
No,
She does not have enough time to do that. She has to do domestic violence program, which is the 6 months program.
Understood, but she could do some anger management in between the next 52 days.
Well, I'm inclined to revoke the balance and have her be done with this. She only has 52 days left. She's gonna get credit for 16 days that she's been there. She hasn't done anything. She failed to report. She owes fees. So, if nothing further, Mr. McLean, it's the court would take Officer Allison's recommendation and revoke the 52 days.
Is there anything further, Ms. Bryant?
No, sir, I'm willing to be in compliance.
They're going, the court appears to be leaning towards taking the 52 days. And you would be spending the next 52 or 26 days, depending on the record room, depending on how they do it. That's up to them. You would spend the next 26 or 52 days in the jail. Are you ready to go forward?
I'm willing to pay the fine instead of sitting in jail. I can pay the fine.
I don't think you
More to
understand.
do, you have more to do than pay a fine, Ms. Bryant. You apparently didn't do the domestic violence intervention program, which you were ordered to do.
Yes, sir, I can do that immediately.
No, you can't because you only have 52 days left, and that's a 6 month course. So, okay, I'm revoking the balance, 52 days. Good luck to you, Ms. Bryant.
Thank you.
Your Honor, are we giving the credit for the 16 days?
Yes, we'll give her credit for the 16 days that she's been in custody.
Position number 4, Chastain on jail iPhone.
And are we ready to, did you need to speak with him, Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to put Mr. Murphy and jail court's iPhone into a breakout room, please. And while we do that, is this Ms. McLeod's client at ACDC?
This is Miss Williams, yes.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
What calendar? We have so many calendars this morning. What calendar is Ms. Pulliam
The
on?
add-on.
She's
Sorry.
on the add-on calendar, Your
Add-on
Honor.
Okay,
calendar.
thank you. And what are we doing with Ms. Pulliam today?
She's going to be arraigned, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Pulliam. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Pulliam. You've been charged in case 23 CR 002681E with battery. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How do you plead, Ms. Pulliam? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can we visit the issue of a bond for her?
Okay, what's the current bond?
Current bond, Your Honor, is $2,500.
May I get the history, please?
For myself.
Okay. I
Oh,
felt
Ms.
like I was
Tyson?
freezing up. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Defendant has 21 arrest cycles beginning in 2008. There's a felony conviction out of Cobb County for forgery in the 3rd degree, willful obstruction, and theft by taking. That disposition date is June 2016. Another felony conviction out of Douglas County for aggravated assault, terroristic threats and acts, criminal trespass, prostitution, battery, and a second count of criminal trespass. That disposition date is December of 2019. And it looks like she has 5 years probation on that case as well. Let's see, she has a misdemeanor driving while license suspended out of Snellville. That's from 2019. A DUI out of Morgan County in 2023, from April of 2023. She's got 12 months probation and a fine on that case. And her last arrest, I'm sorry, that was her last arrest. The DUI was her last arrest, and she has a total of 3 FTAs and 1 violation of probation within the last 10 years. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to point out that this was the bonding company actually came off her bond on this case. I'm not precisely sure why, but I will say that Ms. Pulliam was arrested when she was arrested. She was actually arrested on January 9th of 2024 for criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree and simple assault, family violence, battery. She currently has a $5,000 surety bond on that felony case under 24 PI 000225. Additionally, she has a hold from Douglas County, a foreign county hold, all of which she's sitting on in addition to our battery case. So for that reason, and the fact that the bonding company is actually the one that came off her bond, we asked that the bond not be modified at this time, or that she make a new surety bond. I know initially she was given the $2,500 surety bond on May 1st, 2023 by Judge Law. And that is the bond that the bonding company came off of while she was in jail.
What were the conditions on that?
The
Ms. Falk?
conditions of that bond, Your Honor, were that she have no further contact with Jamia Carter. Her new case does not involve Jamia Carter, I will say that. So again, I can't speak on why the bonding company decided she was no longer a good risk and came off of that bond.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is not in a position to pay for bond right now, Your Honor. She's been sitting in jail for more than 20 days, I'm sorry. So I would just ask the court to consider giving her a bond. Otherwise, she's just going to sit there. She also has the felony bond, which she has to address.
Okay, and she has the hold, so.
Yes.
I'm gonna allow her to, if she makes the bond on a felony case, to go ahead and deal with that hold possibly. So I will modify that bond to a $2,500 pretrial bond.
Everybody was there? Oh, like
Level 2. No further contact with this Ms. Jamia Carter. There's no stay away, Ms. Falk?
No, Your Honor, this was just a friend, an acquaintance of hers.
Okay.
And
No
Your
drugs?
Honor,
Acquaintance.
Your Honor, we would like to sound for Ms. Jamia Carter as well.
Okay, of course. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. If Ms. Jamia Carter is present and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Oh, you want that?
Your Honor, what was the amount on that again?
2,500.
25, okay, thank you.
Okay. Ms. McLeod, if you, when you get a moment, if you can submit that to the court, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Pulliam.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business before the court this morning. May I be excused?
Yes. Good luck to you, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see. Anyone else that we can take?
Your Honor, was that a signature bond through pretrial, or is that?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, I could make announcements on a couple of clients.
Okay.
Position 2 and 3, Mr. Bryant. It was my intention for Mr. Bryant to be heard on bond today, but it was my mistake. The way I wrote my announcements, the jail staff did not bring him today, and because we didn't discuss waiving his presence, and he has a right to be present, we'll just push the bond argument as well until Mr. Bryant can be present.
So Tuesday, 1:30.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
And then positions 12 and 13, Mr. Eddie Love. In my announcement, I requested a reset for Tuesday, January 30th for social work, but after speaking with Kia, our social worker, she said that it would take at least a week to help Mr. Love with the things he's requesting. So if we could push that date to next Thursday or even the following Tuesday, my request was not enough time for her to help him.
Tell me when you would like us to reset individually.
How about Thursday, February 1st?
Okay.
And that concludes all of my clients today.
Okay. Let's see.
I think I have to.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Eric. I can show you.
Ms. Abden, are you working with someone right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and I was just wondering if while we're waiting, if we can possibly do the competency calendar.
Yeah, definitely. And if possible, if we can just talk about Eric Smith's case, its positions 21 to 24 on
Okay.
competency.
Oh, in the competency?
Yeah,
So
due to the nature of what I'm gonna talk
okay,
about.
yeah, that's fine with me. If it's fine with Ms. Falk. Okay, so while we're waiting, if everyone's with us, see that we have Kashi. Oh, Mr. Murphy's back.
We're just.
Thank you, Judge.
Sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Kia and I
Judge.
are step away, for a minute. I just.
Okay, all right, so I'll handle Mr. Murphy then. We'll come back to you.
Judge, I've had a detailed discussion with Mr. Chestang. If we can reset to next Thursday, I have another matter. He's being held on other charges, felonies, and I want to reach out to that lawyer and then go see Mr. Chestang.
Okay, that is
Right.
fine. February 1st?
Yes, I've got something else February 1st at 9. I've got another matter on the same calendar.
Okay, so we'll reset position number 4 on the all-purpose calendar to February 1st. Okay, Mr. Chastain, we'll see you back next Thursday.
Judge, the court clerk had asked me, there was a matter on the probation revocation calendar. Sonny Lee Johnson. I don't know if that's been addressed or they need me to represent Mr. Johnson.
No, it has not been addressed, and we would need you, I believe, Mr. Murphy. I think the rest of our cases are going to be on the jail court's iPhone, so that might take a moment.
Okay.
But what I plan to do is go in to do the competency calendar. If someone comes back from the iPhone, then if you'll go ahead and be placed into a breakout room if Mr. Johnson comes back while I'm there, okay?
Okay, Judge, I have competency calendar at 11, so I'll jump back in there when I get a moment, okay? It's not that matter at that case, it'll be a brief discussion, I can assure you, so.
So do you want to go in there first with us, Mr. Murphy?
Yeah, I guess I suppose I could, okay.
Okay, so why don't we, so if we can all be placed into a breakout room for the competency calendar?
Ms. McLean, are they ready to do position one, Alexis? Zachary?
Is that Mr. Aziz Apport?
No, this position number one, Alexis, first name Zachary.
Oh, that's Miss Abden's client. I'll ask her. She's in another court proceeding right now. Yeah, we'll ask. She's in competency right now.
They must forget about him because he come up 3-0. I'm not gonna be up here long with this man. I'm gonna leave.
What's he being offered? Yeah, we'll get hold of Miss Abden and find out what's happening on that, but she is tied up in that competency hearing right now.
Hey, do you all know how much longer they'll be in this breakout session? Can you go, at least go find out, are they gonna do this person or not?
I'll find out, but they handling the competency calendar right now. They was trying to wait for somebody to come back before they went into the breakout room. But hold on, Blunt, I'll ask.
Okay, thank you.
Blunt, they should be out in a minute.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Let's see, where are we now? Who can we take?
Position number 1, Alexis.
Yes, good. Mr. Alexis, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. It's my understanding that a waiver of your arraignment has been filed. As such, your case will be reset. Will be returned to the decision judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Good luck to you, Mr. Alexis. Mr. Murphy, is there anything that we're still waiting on? Were you able to talk with anyone?
Judge, I have not, but I have pulled up Sonny Lee Johnson's file, so I pretty much would be. It'd be great if I could talk to him, but I would be ready for a revocation hearing. I'm pretty much well versed on the file.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to wait till he gets with us. So thank you. I appreciate you
Good
getting
enough.
that, Murphy. Um,
I'm
So I
just gonna
guess-
open myself, Judge.
okay, thank you. I guess they're roaming, so let's see. Ms. Grace, can we go over the cases that we've already done so that we'll have gone over the calendar as we wait? Is that possible?
Yes, sir. Let's start with the add-on to make sure I'm with you guys. Position number 1, reset 130 SAP. Position number 2, 130 SAP. We are holding on 3 and 4 on the add-on, because I'm starting with the add-on. Position number 5 and 6. Position number 5 is a non-pros. Position 6 was a plea. Position 7, reset, was arraigned. Position 8, reset 130 SAP. Position 9, reset 130 SAP. The regular SAP calendar, position 1, reset jail jury.
I'm sorry, real quick, could we just repeat position 2 on the add-on calendar?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear her. What she said?
Repeat position 2 on the add-on calendar.
Reset 130 SAP.
Okay, thank you.
The regular SAP, position number 1, reset jail jury. Position number 2 and 3, reset 130 SAP. Position number 4, reset 21 SAP. Position number 5 was a plea. Position number 6 was a non-pros. Position number 7 was a plea. Position number 8, reset 21 SAP. Position 9, reset jail jury. Position 10, reset 130 SAP. Position 11, reset 130 SAP. Position 12 and 13, reset 21 SAP. I am holding on position 14. They asked for a reset, but we need the date. I don't know who case it is. Position 15, 16, and 17, I'm holding. Position 18, reset further notice, defendant was released. Position 19 and 20, reset 130 SAP. Position 21, 22, 23, 24, reset 130 SAP. Position 25, 26, reset further notice, defendant was released. Holding on position 27, 28, 29, and 30. Position 31 was a plea. Position 32 was a non-pros. Position 34, 33, and 34 were pleas. Any questions, concern, or comments?
So on position 14, whose case is that?
What's the name?
Marsarira.
Your Honor, that's the person where the state is asking for a reset. I do not have a basis to oppose their request.
Okay, so we want to reset
Judge,
both
can
of
we
these?
do out to 1 week, because the calendar for Tuesday is about 45 people.
Okay, so we'll reset position 14 until, what is that, 2/1?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we will be in recess until someone else is brought before us.
I'm ready to address the, I think it's position 1 on the regular SAP calendar was the possible DA transfer. I think his last name is Laporte. It's position number 1, right?
Which one was that?
Yeah.
The add-on? Yeah, sorry, it's add-on position 1.
Okay.
So Judge, I did look into the statute. I believe that ASG Falk is correct as it is a prior felony under the statute. Statutorily, I don't think we can proceed. So I think maybe we should just wait to hear back from the DA's office. It's likely going to be a DA transfer based on what I can see.
Okay, and I think we reset that till 1:30 just to make sure that he doesn't fall through the cracks.
Sounds good. I just wanted to give you an update.
Okay, all
And
right, thank you.
I was out. I'm not sure if we went over position 1 on the regular calendar. That's Zachary Alexis.
Yes, I explained to him that you filed that you were filing a waiver in the case. It was my understanding.
The waiver of arraignment.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Do we need it? I'm sorry, do we need to address something else?
No,
in
not at
that?
all. I just wanted to make sure that we addressed it. That's all.
Yes, yeah, he was here, and I'm
Okay.
sorry that I.
No, it's all good. Thank
Okay,
you.
I explained to him that we were returning this case to the division judge.
Thank you.
And
All right,
also,
thank you.
Judge, positions 27 through 30, on the announcement, it states that they're requesting a reset. Do they have the date for those? Are we doing something different?
Who represents Patricia Sullivan?
Who is representing Patricia Sullivan?
Patricia Sullivan was the state requesting a reset. I spoke with Ms. Sullivan, and if she could be placed on Tuesday or Thursday.
It'll have to be Thursday, so 2/1.
Very good.
And Judge, also for Eric Smith that we just discussed, positions 21 to 24. Our social worker stated that that it would not give us enough time to get that done by Tuesday. So can we maybe reset it to Thursday instead?
Okay, so Eric Smith, positions 21, 22, 23, 24 will be reset until 2/1.
And I will send the order for what we had discussed. For
Okay.
signature. Thank you.
So it's my understanding, just so that we are holding on position on the regular calendar positions 15 and 16, Jordan Outlaw, and 17. On the probation calendar, positions 3 and 4, Sonny Johnson, and on the add-on calendar, position 3 and 4, Jesse Collins. Does that go along with everybody else's notes? Am I
Right,
missing
with Mr. Outlaw, Your Honor, we heard that he was physically taken to downtown for another case, so we just may not be able to see him today. We were a negotiated plea.
Okay, and it looks like there's no additional jail time, or is
He's dealing with felony court. He's going to get in hopefully to the felony drug court, which is an outpatient court, of course, an accountability court. And our particular case would be, the plea in our case would be compatible with that.
okay? I'm just trying to figure out when we should reset him until next Thursday.
Well, just as soon as possible, I'll communicate with the felony lawyer that we're just gonna get it done as quick as we can.
Okay.
And
Let's
Your
re,
Honor- oh, sorry.
yes, yes, Bob.
This is Mr. Outlaw, correct?
Yes.
And Your Honor is correct. There is no additional jail time that the state is asking for.
Okay, so with that said, I don't want to, is he gonna still remain in jail on the felony charge, Mr. McLean?
We only heard from the felony lawyer that they heard we could resolve our case in a way that was compatible. But whether they were dealing with extra time or not, I don't know. They did not communicate that to us.
Okay.
I got
And
the
you,
impression that it would be quickly that he would be accepted into that outpatient program.
all right, so I don't want this to hold him up, and I know we have a large calendar on Tuesday.
Yes, we
But
do.
I'm reticent to keep someone in jail longer than I have to, so we'll just have to work a little harder on Tuesday. So,
That'd be very good. I'll hear from her.
okay, so we'll place it on next Tuesday's calendar. And it's 1:31.
And is Mr. Murphy, is he representing Mr. Johnson on the probation calendar?
Yes, he is. So as soon as we get
If
go ahead.
Mr. Murphy can just send me his email address, I would need him to sign the bottom of the petition before I send it to the judge.
You hear that, Mr. Murphy?
I did, Judge.
Okay, so if you'll get that information to Officer Allison for us.
I'll send it in the chat.
Thank you.
And do we have a deputy in courtroom two with you all?
Yes,
We do.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure the only people that we need, let whoever's who's ever gone, we only need Sonny Johnson and Jesse Collins.
So Jesse Collins is going to be a medical recess.
Okay. And there was, I don't have a recommendation on him. When would you all like to reset him until next Thursday?
Why don't we, let's do next Thursday.
Okay, so Mr. Collins, who's on the add-on calendar, positions 3 and 4, reset until 2/1. So with that said, I guess the only person that we're gonna need is Sonny Johnson.
And Your Honor, my apologies. Most of these cases were on the add-on were resets from 123, and so I failed to put the recommendations because it had just been reset 2 days. But next time going forward, I'll just copy and paste the recommendations back in.
Okay, that's fine. I would just wanted to make sure, I didn't know if there was gonna be extra time or trying to get people heard as soon as possible, so. Okay, so we are holding on Sonny Johnson. So as soon as Mr. Johnson joins us, we can move forward. Otherwise, we will be in recess.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to get that email that the probation officer wants to send. So I'll be
Okay.
back.
Thank you.
Reservation for 7 people tonight. Yeah. What I didn't know we had open maybe around 6:45 or something. He said after 8. 7. Yeah. Okay, can we do it? Okay, can we do it at 8? Okay. Sure. Okay. Thanks. Close by. These are like 3. Okay.
Cloud.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, thanks for jumping back on, excuse me. You had one on the competency calendar. Are we able
Yes.
to address that real quick?
I am able to do that now, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see, can we go, is Ms. Falk back, is Ms. Falk with us?
I am.
Okay, let's see, Ms. Grace, can you place us all back into the breakout room with Ms. McLeod? Oh, I don't know if Ms. Abden is ready. Is Ms. Abden around? Oh, no, we don't need Ms. Abden. I'm sorry. We don't. Thank you.
Well, 375. Murphy in the RPA.
Ms. Abdom, Mr. McLean. Ms. Abdom or Mr. McLean? Mr. McLean, is
Yes.
Kasha or Kia available to come on so we can speak with them in the breakout room on the competency calendar?
What's that name?
Kasha Burgess or Kia. Judge wants one of them in on the competency calendar that he's speaking with Miss McLeod about.
Let me see.
So they have to be referred back to the link. Yep. We don't have.
As far as social workers, we're a little bit down. We need to get hold of Kasha or Kia.
Kasha's on.
Oh, she's on?
Yeah. Kasha's on.
Kasha is on Zoom, so she's available.
She hasn't joined the breakout room. That's why she's asking you all for her.
I see. Okay, I'm up to speed now, sorry. I don't have a cell phone number to call her.
Yeah, not on. Just send her an email.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Norris, are you still with me in courtroom two?
I'm still here, Your Honor. I just had started misdemeanor.
No, I understand. Could you touch base and see if someone's gonna get Sonny Johnson for us today? Are they still searching for him?
Sonny Johnson. Let me find out, Your Honor, because all of
That's the only person we're waiting on.
and that's for Dennis Murphy?
Yes, that's for Mr. Murphy.
Okay, hold on one second, Your Honor.
And probation. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Also, Judge, I couldn't get back in on the competency calendar. Did we keep Mr. McLeod cases as the
Yes.
recent?
Yeah, she had to jump off, so we are resetting that until next Thursday.
Yes, okay, thank you. Just wanted to
You're
make sure. Okay.
Judge,
Yes, Mr. Murphy.
the probation officer, Miss Allison, she did send me an email, and I got a copy of the petition for revocation of probation, and I've signed it, so I was in the process. I think she wants me to send it back to her. So
Okay.
For the record, I've signed it on behalf of my client. So I'm gonna try to send it right back, and then I'll be with you shortly.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just spoke to Deputy Jones in Marietta Annex. He's gonna be logging on shortly with Mr. Sonny Johnson.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
The Marietta Annex is on.
Do you need to speak with him, Mr. Murphy, before we move forward? Mr. Murphy? Officer Allison, are you on with us?
I'm here, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, I need to speak to him just for about a minute.
Okay, you're fine, Mr. Murphy. So, Mr. Johnson, I'm gonna place you into a breakout room, with, Mr. Murphy, who's going to be representing you on this matter, so that you all can discuss, okay?
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning, sir. Okay.
And Miss Allison, I sent back the acknowledgement form to you. I sent it email.
I got it. Thank you.
And Your Honor,
Yes, Ms. Falk.
I understand the state is kind of present for these, but I would like to request to be excused. ASG Chauncey Graham can take the announcement on this case.
Okay, very good. Have a good afternoon, Ms.
Thank
Falk.
you, Your Honor.
Okay, Judge, I've conferred with Mr. Johnson.
Are we ready to move forward?
Yes, we are, Judge.
Is he back on with us?
Unless they can prompt him to leave the break, because I told him, I said, we're leaving. I said, you got to jump out.
Ms. Strong, can we pull him back into the session?
Sure, give me a moment.
Thank you. Okay, there you go. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Okay. Mary, you had to annex, you're muted, but I take it that that was a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Officer Allison?
Yes, Mr. Johnson failed to report to court as directed on October 23rd, 2023. Did not complete anger management program. He has 19 days remaining on this case. Probation is recommended for time served. Case closed.
We concur.
Okay, Mr. Murphy. All right, Mr. Johnson, time served. Good luck to you, sir.
And I've advised him, Judge, if he has no other holds, which he says he does not, that he would be released sometime today, maybe late tonight.
Okay, very good. All right, I think that. Thank you. You're welcome. I think that concludes our calendars for this morning. We will see you all next time. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Judge.
Thank you.